What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Taste Like Music. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. It is Suede week. And for side 3, this is the last of the Big Four Britpop bands that we've hit on the channel. We've done all the other ones, so it is time to rank them. We did the same thing with Grunge. It was a pretty good video for us, performed pretty well, so we're going to do it again. Why not? I don't know. Britpop for me, all 4 bands were pretty disappointing. And in the comments in some of those other videos, in the Oasis video and in the Pulp video especially, I think a lot of people telling me that I just don't get British music. I don't understand it. And I don't think that's true. I like a lot of British bands from a lot of different eras. I love the Beatles, they're my favorite band ever. I love Mott the Hoople. I love T-Rex. I love Bowie. The list goes on and on. I love a ton of British music. I just don't like this era that much. So we'll see. I went back and I looked at the ratings that I gave everything for all 4 bands, and going to kind of go by the numbers and remind people how I felt. How you guys feeling about these bands?
Okay. So, first of all, the Big Four we're talking about: Oasis, Pulp, Suede, and Blur. Pretty much, early 90s to mid-late 90s. Did Suede this week. Suede's tough because they have 9 albums, but they kind of got out of that Britpop sound a lot. Like, they probably have fewer Britpop albums than the other 4, I would probably say. Like, by the late 90s, they're more like trip hop and pop rock, and then by New Morning, they're into just putting out bad music, or great music if you're Jason. Easily their most American album, because it's really vanilla and Jason doesn't get British music. So I'm going to rank mine right now. The one I know for sure, my least favorite, is Oasis, because I find them pretty annoying. I think their albums are incredibly repetitive. I think they've written 12 songs and redid each of them in like 6 different ways. I think every one of these bands is influenced by glam and all other kinds of things, but they probably lift the most. However, they do have, if I threw together all of my favorite songs by all 4 acts, they'd probably have at least 2, maybe 3 in the top 5. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I love Rock and Roll Star. I love Supersonic. Definitely Maybe is my favorite Oasis album, but I think I still only have it 3.5, maybe 4. And I'm pretty sure everyone else has gotten to at least 4.5 for me. 4.5 for Suede. Park Life was 4.5. And Pulp definitely had a 4.5 album in there somewhere. So Oasis is at the bottom. Blur for sure for me is number 1, because I've got like 5 4-star albums from them, and I think Park Life is the best Britpop album. What is Britpop? Is Supergrass Britpop? Is Radiohead a little Britpop? Because obviously that would change things. But for these 4, Blur is my number 1. Where it gets tricky is getting between the other 2 and 3 for me. The Suede versus Pulp. I probably like the Suede sound more because it's more like sexy and alluring and kind of grimy and desperate. But I really appreciate the writing of Pulp, like with a little bit of British humor in there and all of that. Like, they're sexually decadent and deviant in a far different way. Like, they're mischievous and fun and all that. And I really like that. And I think this is tough, but I'm probably going to put Pulp slightly ahead of Suede, just because I think they make better albums after the first 2 great Suede albums. But it's razor thin. Really razor thin. See, I don't know though, because easily Brian Anderson is my favorite vocalist of all of them. I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with that. Oasis 4, Suede, Pulp, Blur. And Blur runs away. Blur was one of my biggest revelations of the channel. They're probably a top 100 artist for me now, so maybe. So that's my ranking.
Okay, very good, very good. Should we let Jason go last? Probably not. I don't think we want to. That kind of heat in the comments.
Yeah, I'll go second. Well, the way that Blur runs away with it for Cram, they run away with it for me at the bottom. They're easily my least favorite of all of these bands. They topped out at 3.5 stars for me, and I was just massively disappointed with their catalog, and the stuff on the lower end of their discography I didn't think was very good at all. Tops for me, though, is Pulp. Of these 4 bands, I got to 4 stars 4 times, and 3 of them were Pulp albums. So they're the top. And then I got Oasis and Suede in the middle, which the other 4-star record belonged to Oasis, but I think Oasis also has the worst records of the 2 bands. It's pretty close. I think I'd probably say I like Suede a little more overall, just for some of the variety in their catalog and the vocals. The bass playing I think is really good. So yeah, I'd go Pulp, Suede, Oasis, Blur.
All right. I have 5 stars for each of these bands. Blur, multiple 5 stars. Suede with 1, Pulp with 1, Oasis with 1. Down to bottom though, if we're just talking like the Britpop era, like I'm gonna exclude everything outside 2000 and beyond. Like I don't even think A New Morning doesn't even count for Britpop for me. I guess Head Music would count, but even that, it's pretty loose. Same with like Blur and 13. Like it's pretty outside like the confines of Britpop. So taking that into effect, it is quite close. At the bottom, though, Oasis. For as much as I like What's the Story, Morning Glory, which is 5 stars, and whatever their first one is. What the hell is it called?
Definitely maybe.
Definitely Maybe, which I just don't ever think about for some reason. It kind of gets lost in 94 for me. But I had it 4 stars. But Be Here Now just blows. Just such a terrible album. And after that, like they didn't really come back. Like they're kind of a joke. Number 3's tough. In the Britpop era, I guess I have to put Pulp, even though I think Different Class is the second best Britpop album, excluding if we're not counting Radiohead. But I have it just behind Park Life as my favorite Britpop. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. Incredible, just defining, era or defining album of the era. It was number 1 on Pitchfork's list. And His and Hers is great. This is hardcore, both 4 stars, easy for me. But I think Suede, just that 1-2 punch of the self-titled and Dogman Star, that 5 and 4.5 stars. It's just a lot. They're going to be my number 2. So we'll do Oasis, Pulp, Suede, and the number 1's got to be Blur. For as much as they, kind of fall out of favor for me later on, and as much as their first album, Leisure, I don't know if it's really a Britpop album. It's more like baggy, but I think it's good. I think Modern Life is Rubbish is phenomenal, and they just have like the most Britpop sound to me, like that kind of Kinks romantic, very British humor and everything. And they just feel the most Britpop. I gotta have them at number 1 because I think Park Life is the best of the Britpop era. And yeah, they'll be my number 1, but it's not. I mean, the top 3 are actually pretty close. I don't even care about Oasis, but Blur, Suede, and Pulp, I think all their highlights are really close. So damn close, but yeah, Blur, Suede, Pulp, Oasis. If we're talking conventional Britpop bands, I mean, if you wanted to bring in, the other ones like Manic Street Preachers and Radiohead and Supergrass and Elastica, then a little more competition. But those are the big 4, and they're great. I love them all so much, and I don't understand why Jason doesn't make any sense to me, because all of their influences are stuff that he likes. So
Yeah, I don't get it either. Because he's afraid of the Englishman.
I just don't think their songwriting is that good and their production isn't that good. It's all very plain sounding.
Myself and everyone on earth, every critic who's ever written disagrees. I don't know.
Very plain. This
I
guy
don't
thinks New Morning is the best Suede album because it has the best songs.
It does have the best song. It's the best songwriting.
You
There's
said,
no one in the world who agrees with you. Not a single
said
person.
it's basically
wanna-
a better than Ezra album. ...
I gave it
has the
3.5
best songwriting.
stars. I'm not saying it's a great record. I'm
We
comparing it to
hate
the
you.
other
We
Suede records.
hate you. You're
Oh,
not liked here, man. Right, dude? You're a
Oh.
Union Jack ass. You get it? You know what I'm saying?
for the record, if Supergrass is a Britpop band, I'm not sure they are. They easily run away with this for me. I like the worst Supergrass record more than every record by all 4 of those bands. So they bottom out at 4 stars for me. All right, so let us know how you rank the Big Four. Do you think they are the Big Four? Do you think other bands should be included instead of one of these? Let us know down in the comments, get some conversation going. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet done so, hit the bell for notifications. Go back and watch these Suede videos from earlier in the week if you haven't seen them yet. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.